Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Jojo Part 4, Episode 14. What happened last time?
Last time was the Invisible Baby episode. And yeah, Josuke has a new respect for Joseph. So that's pretty nice. They sort of like solidified their relationship there. And yeah, see what happens this time.
Indeed, leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to see the next week's episodes. You can get 3 episodes ahead on this show, 3 episodes ahead on Boruto, 3 episodes ahead on Haikyuu, and a bunch of other exclusive items that you can pilfer over there on patreon.com/BOLDcast. Link in the description. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. Let's go. Oh, this episode. I forgot this was coming. Like they made him just tiny for some reason.
Wasn't he before?
He was like short, but it wasn't the size, like, you know. They made him smaller. He's gonna stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Bonding over some manga. It sounds like I'm making this up, but it's true.
Koichi's like, if my hair wasn't perfectly cut to already stand straight up, my hair would also be flying like that.
It's like a big house. Big old house.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot he was that young. Did we just skip the intro automatically?
Let's go visit the comic artist's house, part 1.
Like they call manga artists or like art authors sensei, same as teacher or doctor.
It's a cool design.
I always thought he looked really cool.
Probably thinks that they're like 5. Because
they're so tiny.
The size of a 5-year-old.
Yeah, they definitely made Hazamata smaller for this.
I think they did.
Whoa. Death 13? Just fanboying so hard. I imagine that a lot of the stuff in this character is like a fantasy of the author himself, because he's a manga artist, obviously.
Yeah, like he's just so like, I barely even have to try. Yeah. I could take vacation.
I'm extremely, not even try, but like I'm extremely efficient. I only take 4 days to draw, you know.
What are you doing? When he went like that, it looked like he was gonna eat the spoon.
That's very true. Well, what he's saying is true, that it is untrue.
Oh my god. I feel like you won't learn much about that when you're slicing it around. Says the guy who has apparently a bunch of horrible, like, violent scenes in his...
I'm not criticizing it, it's just a little bit fucked up for me. Wrote the manga author. Why is that
perfect reference?
Why is that so funny? It looked like some shit in a South Park. Like, this turns into a South Park episode.
Fetch my autograph knife. I mean my autograph pen from the kitchen.
A lot of people have, like, made fun of Araki for, like, writing himself. Weirdly, they think that like he's put a lot of himself into this character, into this depiction.
I'm having the same feeling.
But he says, while it's extreme, it's important for any creative person to have, like, a zest for life or understanding things about life. And if you look in his work, it's really well, it seems to be true.
Or just a, like, he could be a stand user, he could be a serial killer, I don't know what he is, but he's something.
He's something. Got something. In what way?
In what way? Oh.
He got dripped out after the hospital, I'm realizing. His clothes look cooler. Oh my god. It's the next chapter.
It's gonna be pictures of people that he's already killed and dismembered.
It's probably the pages for next week's chapter. That's kind of dope, though. He takes, like, 4 days out of the week to write a weekly manga chapter.
Okay. That is not quite.
It's just so incredible.
Are they gonna have to act out whatever is happening in there to prove the accuracy? Whoa.
Did you see what was in the page in his finger?
No.
Okay. I love this ability so much. I think it's so fucking cool. All the pictures on the walls are so cool. Need? It's so fucked up, but there's no blood. It's again that, like, body horror, weird Conan type beat.
Well, as long as that's all you're gonna do.
Yak%. What is S City? Is that a nickname for, like, premature? Oh, maybe that's why he's short? Ayana.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I love that. You know, in part 3, everyone knew about all the other stand users all over the world somehow, but in part 4, everybody is like, stand.
Yeah.
So other people have superpowers too?
I wonder if he's had his stand since before.
There were a number of people, like, there have been people who had stands.
Yeah.
Unconnected to Dio and shit, and greatest inspiration.
Oh no.
Stop it now.
Oh, and he already knows all about it.
He knows all your abilities. Oh, the way his face is like half peeled off, and there's like space for his eyes.
No. How? How? Did you change some words in there?
Heaven's Door. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
He can change shit about them by writing in their pages.
That is really cool.
I think it's just so interesting.
No, you thought you were getting away?
I love you! Please don't kill me! Oh shit. Kittens? He kills animals?
I would say you're a disgrace.
It excites that one of your classmates might notice. Is she even like spinning?
Yeah. I love this, like,
isn't it so
palette swap cool,
all
like,
the
part
cool
2
backgrounds
back
and shit.
at it
Yeah,
again.
it's awesome. Ikai. His voice actor is so good too. He sounds cool. Three months ago.
Oh, so he was shot. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Don't rip it out.
I thought you just said that you didn't want to mess anything up too badly.
Based on the shit that he's done since they walked in, does he seem sane to you at all?
No, not really. Did he rip out the page where all of that just happened?
He even served us tea and cookies. What a weird fucking guy. 20 kilograms?
That's a lot.
He's so light. This must be the work of an enemy stand. That's such a classic meme.
That's actually interesting that it takes some weight off of him.
Isn't it cool that he realized right away? He's just like, this must be the work of an enemy stand.
I know. He's so smart, and he had a bad feeling in the house.
Yeah.
Genius.
That's why Koichi is such a good, like, protagonist guy. You like, after we see Rohan draw him, like with those eyes, like kind of like a cartoon character, and like take his memory and sort of is affected by it, then he starts kind of looking less sophisticated like that, like with the sort of dotted eyes at some points.
Whoa.
Oh, Jesus. He's already there.
Yeah.
He's just like at the door. The scene transitions and showing like how he's acting kind of on instinct is really cool. You don't know anything.
Yeah, it's probably nothing.
No, see, this isn't your
Yeah.
your nephew's Jojo, I guess. Your nephew? Yeah, your nephew. All candlelit. They seem to fix that like tracking problem from before. Ooh. Was that cool?
That was cool.
Oh. Right on. Epic.
That's kind of a cool episode. I can see what you mean. Actually, you know what's funny? You know what I was just thinking? So he's like, like, they were all like, oh, well, everyone liked all your stuff, whether you do shit like this or not. Like, you were already a great author and you were doing so good. And he's like, oh, well, I wanted to, like, you know, spice it up and make sure people wanted to keep reading it and everything like that. And I find that kind of funny, and I see why people, like, compare that or, like, say that it's a lot like the author because he was writing, like, Jojo parts 1 and 2 didn't have stands, and they were, like, so good and, like, just, like, wacky, but, like, a really cohesive story and, like, great characters and stuff. And then he got hit by an arrow from an enemy stand. And now every single character we've seen are just people that he's attacked and stolen their identities and written about them.
So you started saying something about the author, and now you're just talking about the character?
No, I'm also talking about the author. This is a true story.
This is a biographical, autobiographical tale. Yeah, he said in an interview, because everyone kept I did a little bit of research on this character because I think he's really cool, but he basically, a bunch of people are badgering him like, is Rohan based on you? And he's just like, well, he's like, well, this is how he worded it. He said something like I said before, it's important for any, like, artist to have, like, a zest for life and to be constantly trying to learn new things and to be, like, really excited about reality and learning and growing as a person. That said, I don't eat spiders or lick dead spiders or torture animals. But then again, people don't really believe that either because everyone says that he's a vampire because he's an age. Yeah, I love the eccentricity and, like, how he goes from, like, cool, like, you know, I'm the cool, you know, I'm 20 years old, I'm really efficient with my work, I take pride in what I do, to, like, I'm gonna, he's just, like, like, laughing over, like, ripping his face off, like, laughing and licking spider. He goes from somebody so cool to somebody so unbelievably fucking weird that it's, like, ridiculous.
I do like, though, that, it's like kind of weird, similar to the disappearing, like, baby, how when Joseph's arm got disappeared and then he cut himself and then the blood was falling out of thin air. Like, it's a similar thing to that of, like, it's disturbing, but, like, weird, graphic, but not in, like, just, like, blood and guts kind of way. Just something more interesting, like their faces are peeling off, but it's
I think
paper.
He also said that this is like one of his favorite stand effects or things to draw.
I
because
would
of like
so. It just
how
looks so cool.
intricate the drawings are, especially like in the anime. Like they can't really do it justice because it has to be animated. So, but in the manga, it's a lot more. Like you could see the way that it peels in. The depth of this is like same as the depth that you would imagine of this, and his ears, like here where it's peeling off. See, if you look in the anime, it's like they drew the line and then they just like did whatever they could with the pages coming off of it. But it doesn't change where the sort of line for the ear is. The line for the ear would be drawn the same way as far as the model. It's just like small alterations and adding stuff on. But you know, it's I don't know. It would look like this, like on his finger here.
Yeah.
Is a better example.
It's like almost like the paper is like coming apart.
It's like peeling his skin kind of in a way, and it's I don't know. It looks more. It has that depth and everything. Those grooves. It's just a really interesting looking thing, and that's clearly again. It's like what I constantly say about Araki is it's part of the artistic value of the work is how he finds a way in his stories to keep himself engaged, and that's a really really important thing. And it's demonstrated with this character, like the way he's like so insane about this, like licking this dead spider and like eagerly reading the life of these two kids and everything.
Yeah,
he's extremely interested in trying to find that next thing and trying to like search out the motivation so that he doesn't become stale and so that he stays entertained. And I think that's where he and Araki overlap. And why Rohan's an interesting character in that way. Because it says a lot about the author. And also, it's just a really good episode. Now we got Okuyasu and Josuke following Koichi.
I love that everyone is, like, so on their game in this part. It's still surprising. Like, we've been here for a while, and for part 4, it's been pretty consistent that everyone's been, like, on their game and actually aware of their surroundings. So consistent that
I don't know why you're still surprised.
I guess I'm just always impressed when it happens. And it should be a given at this point, but I know, but I'm saying like part 3 went on for so long and every time it was like, oh, they didn't do it. And then every time here I'm like, oh, you guys are so awesome because my expectations had been lowered so much that now when they do it, I'm like, oh, so they followed him from school. And I guess also it's because they are just friends at school. They're not actively like on a mission to do anything where they all need to be working together at all times and like paying attention to each other. They just were concerned about their friend, are aware that stand users exist and are, checking it out. I do feel pretty bad for Koichi though, back to back getting like basically kidnapped by people. Everyone really likes it.
First his crush at school or this girl at school is super pretty.
Kidnaps him away to a creepy house and tries to make him do schoolwork. And now this guy kidnaps him away to a creepy house and writes about him. I feel kind of bad for him.
Well, this is a two-parter, so we're going to move right along. If you want to see the next part, you can go to Patreon. If you're watching on Patreon, thank you very much for your support. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.